This is the LEGO Sauron Helmet. It has 538 pieces and it's $69.99 US. It includes the helmet build and the Sauron Minifigure, and it stands at about 13 inches tall. I think right off the bat, they really nailed this set. I love the shaping, I love the minifigure, but it's not entirely perfect. The Sauron minifigure is one of the biggest selling points here. This exact figure was going for around $70 just by itself in the aftermarket, or you had to get the $500 Barad-dûr set. I also really like this set because the Lord of the Rings LEGO line has been pretty brutal with its prices, where previous sets were over $250. So this feels way more accessible, even if at $70 it's still a bit overpriced in my opinion. And now for the build. I'm pretty conflicted about the build itself because on the one hand, it was a pretty cool build. It had a lot of interesting techniques, but it's mostly comprised of gray and black pieces, which honestly got a bit boring after a while. For a set that has around 500 pieces, I usually do those in one sitting, but this one made me stop halfway through because I was just bored of so many gray pieces in this set. I think that LEGO could have implemented some more colored pieces on the inside just to make the build less boring. But other than that, I felt like the snot techniques were great, the shaping was amazing, and I'm really happy with the end result of the build. It has a central hook mechanic, which allows you to clip together each facet of the face into the center column, and it's like almost forging the helmet piece by piece, which was pretty cool. And now let's move to one of the best parts of the set, the Sauron minifigure. The helmet piece is fantastic. I think it captures the minifigure really well. It also has a printed torso and printed legs, along with a cape. A minor annoyance is that the cape does get a bit crumpled when you place the helmet. It's something that I did notice, but I don't think it matters that much. And I do really love the head, how it has the flame elements to it. It really adds a nice depth to the minifigure. And finally, we have the ring. Going back to what I said at the beginning, this figure was $70 by itself in the aftermarket. But now, you can get a full helmet at the same price. And now for the build. Starting off at the base, it's nothing too exciting. It does its job, and it has a place to put Sauron and a printed Lord of the Rings tile. To be fair, it is a bit plain, but it's way better than a sticker. And now for the helmet itself, the shaping is based on the original film prop. I feel like LEGO really captured the proportions well. It looks pretty similar to the prop. Of course, since it's LEGO, it's not gonna be perfect, but I think this is as close as they could get it while still retaining the LEGO essence. I really love how the spikes look, the roundness of the back of the helmet, and the angularity of the face geometry. I've had it for a week now, and whenever I just catch it on the shelf, it just looks great. Now, I've heard some people criticize the fact that it's not metallic gray, and I sort of agree with them, but I think this is fine. I don't think it would have been realistic to expect LEGO to produce a full set with metallic elements, so I think this is a nice compromise. And honestly, I don't see the issue that other people are seeing. And unfortunately, my set did come with a missing piece. Instead of this slope piece, it came with a half slope, which at this price and at LEGO's quality standards, it shouldn't happen. But overall, I'm really happy about the build. Alright, and now for the rating. For the build experience, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It has clever mechanics, interesting techniques, but 530 pieces of black and gray really wore me down. A set this size shouldn't have made me stop midway through, so that's why it gets a bit of a lower score. Display value is where this set really stands out. It's the right size, right scale. It looks incredible from a distance. Having metallic gray pieces would have made this a 10 out of 10, but since it's not, I'm gonna knock it down a point and give it a 9 out of 10. For the price, it's a bit hard to justify at full retail value, so I would wait for a sale. At $50, $55, this becomes an easy yes, but right now I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. And finally, for uniqueness, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's the first LEGO Lord of the Rings helmet, most wanted minifigure in recent memory, and a pretty cool building mechanic, for a total score of a 7 out of 10. If you're a LEGO Lord of the Rings fan, I would get this set right now. If you're just a casual buyer and you like LEGO and you kinda like Lord of the Rings, I would hold a bit for a sale. At $50 or $55, that's the sweet spot where this set becomes a no-brainer. And even with the repetitive build, the price, and the ungodly amount of gray pieces, this set still looks fantastic. And the Sauron minifigure is just the cherry on top. LEGO needs to put minifigures in every single helmet set. Every single one. This set is the proof. If you enjoyed this video and want more LEGO reviews, subscribe. I drop new videos every week. Affiliate links and my full rating sheets are in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps the channel a lot. See you in the next one.